Uh-oh, more big trouble from the big top. Here's your look at the new Trick or Treat Studios Scream Greats Series 2 Killer Clowns from Outer Space, Rudy. Trick or Treat Studios is proud to present the officially licensed MGM Studios Killer Clowns from Outer Space action figures as part of their Scream Greats Series 2 collection. Scream Greats features iconic characters from some of your favorite cinematic masterpieces. Each highly detailed figure is in an 8-inch scale and would be perfect for display in any collection. Shop your Scream Greats Series 2 collection for Spiky, Jumbo, Rudy, and more. Includes 8-inch scale Rudy figure with popcorn gun accessory. I can see the Circus of Screams is in town again, and before we get tickets for the show, I'd like to first thank the folks over at Trick or Treat Studios that did provide this sample. Hey, good news, everybody. The Scream Greats Series 2 Killer Clowns from Outer Space Rudy is available right now on their site for $39.99. You can also pay in 2 interest-free installments starting at $20 each time. We're going to also take the tape measure. We're going to see how tall Rudy stands. Then we'll bring in, hey, maybe some comedic colleagues of his. For the tape measure telling us, it's going to tell us that he stands 9 inches in height. That's going to work out to be a clown that's 23 centimeters tall. Still trying to figure out how I'm going to squeeze these all in one car, and it's a tiny car, too. Speaking of tiny things, let's bring in some of the other killer clowns we've already had a look at, courtesy of Trick or Treat Studios, starting first with the smallest, who's fittingly named Shorty. Then we also had a look at Slim, who I think he fits the name Slim rather well. And we've also had a look at Fatso. For the figure's accessories, the figure does come included with this popcorn gun. I do really like the look of this popcorn gun. At one point, I was really trying to get my hands on a larger version of this that was released through Spirit Halloween. Just didn't have the funds available. Though I can live, vicariously through a much smaller representation of the popcorn gun that comes included with Rudy. The detail, though, is very nicely captured from the spots on the top, the leopard print, different opposite colors from a traditional leopard print. But then you've also got little popcorn kernels there on the top. No, the kernels don't actually move. They're sculpted inside. One thing that's cool, though, about the gun is that it does also come included with a projectile accessory piece. It clips on the end of the nozzle, simply just doing like this. And now you got yourself the popcorn shooting out the end. Love that they've captured this in the way that they have, using kind of more of a translucent clear plastic, and then the little tiny little popcorns popping their way out. I know normally you would look at this and think, hey, where can I sign up to get shot by a popcorn gun? You have to kind of see the movie first and maybe rethink your choices. The one unfortunate choice, though, about this popcorn gun being as heavy as it is, because this is all constructed here of hard plastic. This is a little more of softer plastic. But I did find, though, getting this into Rudy's hands, that his hand doesn't quite really hold it well. Sure enough, yeah, you can easily get it into his hand. But the problem with that is that it just seems like it's almost too heavy for the arm to hold it up. Now, there's a little handle here to the side that you can also twist his hand around. And you can have him holding it kind of really, or even kind of if you have it holding this way, too. But you'll notice, though, when you put it down, it just is too heavy for his poor arm to hold up. Now, what you could always do as an alternative, I did notice, though, that Slim, because he does have the collar piece, he seems to hold his arm a little higher and a little more solid. So if you wanted to, you could, in theory, take the popcorn gun, and you could still make use of it by holding it in Slim's hands. And again, we'll just kind of wedge it in his hand. You see, like, even with the way that his arm's designed, he seems to hold the popcorn gun okay. And if you want to take yourself the attachment piece, put it on the end. For at least right now, he holds it really well. Now, both Slim and Fatso also came included with this, the cotton candy gun. Now, don't feel, though, that Rudy's not going to have any accessories at all. In fact, you could take the cotton candy gun and put it in his hand. And you can see with the weight of that, he holds it fine. So you could crisscross applesauce. You can mix around the accessories if you want. Let's move these accessories, though, out of the way. We'll also move Slim out of the way for right now, because we've extensively had a look at him in a previous review. And yes, though, if you want to see the differences, the popcorn gun on the top, and clearly, though, the cotton candy gun down below, very nice color matching to the way they appear in the film. Let's move that off for right now. Now, I will tell you, just between you and me, and maybe the rest of the 7 people watching, I am a big fan of Rudy. He's probably my favorite of the killer clowns. And I feel, though, that Trick or Treat Studios has captured this extremely well. Now, the sculpting of the face does, I think, land the likeness well of this very cool-looking clown from the movie. Of course, he does have notable features that aren't so noticeable on the other killer clowns. He has a very distinct look. One of the biggest distinctions is the fact he does have the red hair on the back of his hair. Now, I think, though, I mean, obviously, Slim would have also had something of the same. You can see, though, how the features and the characters' designs, each clown is different from one another, like a sinister snowflake. I do also like the fact that their colors of their costumes also change too. And while mostly up to this point, when we've looked at Slim and when we've looked at Shorty, and even when we've looked at Fatso, even though Fatso probably had the more decorative of his details, Rudy certainly has the more elaborate looking pattern work done to his outfit. His clown costume, as you can see, is made of many stripes, kind of more like a dark, like a warm pink. You got some blues, some blacks, and also some yellows striped all in there. And of course, he does have the collar piece there too. The face sculpt is probably one of my personal favorites. I love the drooping ears. He always kind of remind me of, who's the character from Snow White and Seven Dwarfs? Was it Dopey? I think it was Dopey. Kind of always really reminded me of Dopey with the way that his ears flop down like this. Head sculpt look, again, is fantastic on this. Now, with these being, though, screen grade, there is some levels of limited articulation that goes with the territory. Head-wise, though, I mean, he is going to probably have the best benefit of articulation when it comes to the top of his head, but most of these figures are usually relegated to just standard swivels in their wrists. Granted, though, to be fair, Rudy does also have ball joints in his hands, so you can move those around as well. But really, though, for the rest of the figure, you're looking at staction all around. He does have pegals, though, to be fair, on the bottoms of his feet. I don't think, though, these figures generally do come included with display stands. Not that necessarily Rudy needs anything to really help hold him up. I think he does a fine job on his own of standing on his own. Again, nice hard plastic that they're using for the majority of the figure's body. Just, again, love the paintwork, though, on his face. You can see, though, even the colors of the eyebrows seem like it's a slightly darker blue. Tiny little beady eyes, clown little eyes looking straight at you. And I love the look of the yellow. Again, you got that kind of warmer pink there for the top of his collar. The collar does seem, though, like it's made of a more softer plastic. My guess is, though, that he probably adhered it to the top of his body. So it's not, while it does seem like it is a loose piece, a separate piece, it is very firmly attached to the top of his body. Again, you got the large polka dots there for the front of his chest. These nicely have been also sculpted and not just painted on top of the surface. Giant clown shoes also as well go with the territory of him being a killer clown and all. One of my favorite things, though, also about with Rudy is that the stripes go whoosh, 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 go this way, vertical. And yet when it goes to his feet, they go the opposite way. So it sort of does give you a little bit more to look at with your eyes. Again, when it comes to the levels of possibility for Rudy, about the same as all the other killer clowns. So the head's going to be on a ball joint. With that, though, you can move the head up and down. You can rock it back and forth. So he seems a little confused why people are running and screaming from them. But you can also rock the head back and forth. And yeah, you could rotate the head all the way around if you wanted to. The head does get a little caught up at times when it has to get across the collar. But overall, though, the head has really decent mobility. Again, like the arms do move. You can move them forward and back, just with the way that they're also sculpted too. It's not like you can do it like a full rotation. He gets to about here, and obviously he hits the collar. Same thing on this side too. This one, actually, you could rotate all the way around too. There is a little bit what seems to be a hinge where you can move them out, but not by much though. The hands, and I didn't spend too much time really actually showing you guys what the hands look like. See how they've even painted the ends of the fingernails. Really nice job. Hands rotate, again, all the way around. They are on also peg ball joints too, so you can move them back and forth. And again, like for the rest of the figure's body, more or less just staction. No posability at all in play down below here for the feet. But again, I don't feel the figures necessarily need those at all. If you're one that really collected like the horror figure lines from the early 2000s, this again is a great successor to that. And again, if you're a big fan of killer clowns, I mean, let's face facts. Some of the best killer clowns, if not the best killer clowns figures we've gotten, has been from, of course, Trick or Treat Studios. With what we've gotten so far from what now 4 clowns in, we are also, thanks to the folks over at Trick or Treat Studios, going to also be looking at the Series 2 killer clowns, Spiky and Jumbo. Those will be coming in upcoming reviews. Lots of good colors going on with these clowns too. Rudy, again, for my personal taste, is one of my favorite of the killer clowns. And I love the fact that they also include with him the popcorn gun. Again, the only one thing about the popcorn gun is that it does have a lot of weight to it. Not so much, though, for the popcorn popping out on the end of it, but even if you removed that and left it on its own, it seems like it's almost too heavy for poor Rudy to hold on his own. However, though, you could have like Slim. I found Slim really of the two between him and Fatso was the easiest to hold the popcorn gun just because his arms seem to be the tightest of the 3. And again, don't feel like he's getting left out in the mix though. I mean, Rudy very well could also hold the cotton candy gun. One of the accessories that also came included with Slim and Fatso. Fatso came with one, Slim came with one. Either one of them, I'm sure, could share the accessories around and give it to Rudy because he does have a hard time holding the popcorn gun. Other than that, though, it's a fantastic looking figure. Very well painted, equally well sculpted. I think Trick or Treat Studios knocked it out of the park with one of, again, my personal favorites, if not my favorite killer clown, Rudy. Now, all hope is not lost if you're still insistent on having the popcorn gun with Rudy, because after all, the figure does come included with it. If you're willing to sacrifice the popcorn projectile that goes on the end of the nozzle, you can actually rest the popcorn gun more against his shoulder, and it offsets some of the weight. If you still want to have the popcorn projectile on the end of it, one workaround fix that I did mention in this review is use it with Slim. Slim seems to have, at least based on my figure, tighter shoulders than Rudy, and he has no problems whatsoever holding the popcorn gun with the projectile already shooting out the end. Don't feel, though, that Rudy's going to be doing without. You can easily use then the ray gun, the cotton candy gun that came included with both Slim and Fatso, and Rudy can use that one instead. Great looking colors, though, on Rudy. I love the head sculpt on this one. For me, at least, it's my favorite of what Trick or Treat Studios has done so far with the Killer Klowns franchise. And that's not just, I mean, we're not near the end of this at all. I mean, for the rest of this week, too, thanks to Trick or Treat Studios, we'll also be looking at the Killer Klowns from Outer Space, Jumbo and Spiky. But what do you guys think of Rudy? Let me know down below in the comments section. If this is one that you guys would like to get, a clown for Christmas, this one is available right now on Trick or Treat Studios website for $39.99. Again, a big thank you to the folks over at Trick or Treat Studios that did provide this sample. What do you guys think of Rudy? And what's your favorite Killer Klowns from the Killer Klowns from Outer Space film? If you guys did also enjoy this video, you can do it a solid throw to like. You guys want to stick around for more so? I hope so. Yeah, we're going to be celebrating some more Killer Klowns from Outer Space with a couple of upcoming reviews for the rest of this week. So I hope you guys are going to be coming back for those. As always, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.